Welcome back everybody to another update of my film collection. So I'm doing a pre-Christmas one because I undoubtedly will get several films as presents or money to buy films with, because whenever I get gifted money I usually spend it on films, so I don't want to have a massive backlog to do post-Christmas. And I've bought quite a fair bit so far this month. Let's move on to the more basic Blu-rays. Now these four I have bought from CEX, so they have some sticker marks on them that I will eventually eradicate by buying new cases. But the first of which is The Relic. Now I really like this film. It's a really good monster creature feature kind of film from 1996, and stars Tom Sizemore and Penelope Ann Miller, and really underrated film. Probably I like it so much because it was directed by I think it's directed by Peter Hyams. Yeah, who also did the cinematography. I'm a massive fan of Peter Hyams. I know he's not the most sophisticated of director, and he has done several different genres over his career, but I'm a massive fan of his films, and that's one of my favourites. Then one of my all-time favourite American comedies, Grosse Point Blank, starring John Cusack and Minnie Driver, and as well as Dan Aykroyd and Alan Arkin, as well as what was she called? Joan something, I can't remember her name. She was in School of Rock, I think. Still fantastic comedy action film, and got a really good soundtrack on that, and really rather hilarious in parts. Then we have the remake of The Crazies from 2010, was this? Yeah. Starring Timothy Olyphant, and I actually kind of prefer this to the original from George A. Romero, just because I think it gets the horror across a lot better. More simple horror, granted, but yeah, definitely gets the horror across a lot better, and I think the ending is actually pretty good on that. And finally from CEX we got Source Code, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Michelle Monaghan and Vera Farmiga. This was only 50p in CEX, so even though it's got a massive sticker mark on it that is annoying, and apparently it was a rental only version, I could hardly pass up a really good film for 50p. And from the director of Moon, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, I actually prefer this to Moon a little bit, but still, both are really rather good. And like it says, 90-minute thrill ride, and that's pretty much what it is. So highly recommend all four of those, to be honest. Then we have 3 films that I bought new on Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray. First of which is Slow West, starring Michael Fassbender and Cody Smith-McPhee, and it's not a film for everyone because it is as it says there, slow western kind of film. It's not a fast-paced film whatsoever or anything like that, but it is a really rather good one, and it's only 84 minutes long, so it's in and out before you know it. As far as modern westerns go, this is one of my favourites, and again, I highly recommend it. Then one of my favourite recent zombie films, Girl with All the Gifts. Not only does it have a cracking cast of Gemma Arterton, Paddy Considine, Glenn Close, and Senia Nunua, it's easily one of the best zombie films of recent times. Does a great deal with that kind of premise, but shakes it up a little bit and makes it properly intelligent and really rather quite scary in parts as well. Again, another highly recommended film, and one of my favourite disaster genre films, Deep Impact. Now this was released around the same time as Armageddon, but this is the thinking man's Armageddon, because Armageddon is really rather quite dumb, loud, and really rather too long, whereas this is significantly shorter and a lot more intelligent. Not to say that it's the best disaster genre film, but it is definitely the best of the 2 asteroid films from the same year. And it's also got a good cast in it. You've got Tia Leone. It's directed by Mimi Leader, who also did The Peacemaker, but this is definitely the better of the 2 films. And it's also got, who else was it? Vanessa Redgrave, Elijah Wood, Maximilian Schnell, Morgan Freeman, and you've also got a score by James Horner. So fantastic film. And then we got several films from Network. If you've seen my previous update video, you'll have heard that I have been a big fan of Network recently. And one of them that I got is not a film, but it's a TV series from 1981. Yeah, so it's 40 years old, but it's only a small TV series. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes. But yeah, it sounds like my kind of drama really, where yeah, it was controversial and groundbreaking at the time, as it dealt head on with racism and corruption in the police force. And considering it's 40 years old, that was really not something that was you know, fully dealt with at the time. And yeah, it's also got a early performance by Rick Mail in it, who plays against type as a racist policeman. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing this. It was only £8, so for £8 for a mini series that is supposed to be good is pretty damn good price as far as I'm concerned. And then a film I recently have been massively impressed by. I watched it first and then I bought it. The Medusa Touch, starring Richard Burton even, as well as Lino Ventura and Lee Remick. And yeah, it was part of the late 70s craze of you know, telekinesis kind of films after Carrie was a big success. So you had The Fury and other kind of films like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, still fantastic film. Got a really good couple of set pieces in it. Not necessarily action set pieces, but you've got a plane crash that is really well done. You've got a fight finale that is really rather tense, but also got massively good production on it as well. And yeah, directed by Jack Gold, and you've also got the score was by Michael J. Lewis, but I can't remember if he's done anything I've seen before, but it was a really good score in it. And yeah, really fantastic plot overall. Mix of psychological horror, thriller, you know, the like. And yeah, really underrated. Again, that wasn't going through very much at all. And then we have a film from Carol Reed. I also showed you my last update another Carol Reed video, a film called The Fallen Idol. Haven't seen that yet, but I have seen Odd Man Out, which is the other film. And yeah, again, a really good film starring James Mason, and yeah, as well as Robert Newton and Kathleen Ryan. And yeah, basically he's James Mason's a part of an idealist leader of an illegal organisation. He gets shot during a mission of his own, and yeah, he's basically on the run from the police in the middle of this town, which is being cordoned off, and the police are getting in on him closer and closer. And yeah, got a really tragic ending in it, but it's a fantastic film overall. And yeah, really surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Kind of reminded me of the film 71 that came out a few years ago. And then we have a film I have seen a longer time ago, but I've finally got my hands on. It's Alfred Hitchcock's Lady Vanishes, one of his early classics from 1938. And yeah, stars Michael Redgrave, Margaret Lockwood, Paul Dukas, and Dame May Whitty. Dame May Whitty I've seen in other films recently, and yeah, really rather good Alfred Hitchcock early classic, especially in terms of his pre-40s output. Then we have Green for Danger. I don't think many people have heard of this, but it's got really good performances from Sally Gray, Trevor Howard, but mainly from Alistair Sim, who plays the detective in this. And yeah, he doesn't rock up until about half an hour into the film, but once he does, he really does steal the show. And yeah, really good murder mystery set in a hospital. And yeah, highly recommend trying that one out. Then we have a film I'd be up purely because it stars Vincent Price, but it also has Donald Pleasance and John Carradine. The Monster Club. Like I said, purely bought it for Vincent Price because I do actually quite like the film, but I wouldn't have bought it otherwise if it hadn't had Vincent Price in it, because I am ratcheting up my collection of his films. I think I've got like 25 now or something. But yeah, a decent late effort from Vincent Price, even if he is not the in the whole thing. But yeah, still really rather good. And yeah, you've also got a Britt Eklund in this, Patrick McGee, and yeah, it's directed by Roy Ward Baker, who I think I've seen something from before. But yeah, still a really good film. And yeah, I think it's it's a horror anthology. Yeah, I think it is. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but still, cracking early 80s film there. Then we have one from Eureka, one that is probably one of my top 10 favourite films of this year that I hadn't seen before this year, and that is Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, who also stars in it. And yeah, fantastic film. It has a great deal of tension in it right from the start, right from the opening scene. It just ratchets up the tension, and it just compounds from there on in. And yeah, really rather good. Did have a trouble production at the post-production back in the day. Numerous versions of it came out. There's a preview version, then there was a theatrical version which was sorted in the editing room, and yeah, but finally we have the full version that Orson Welles wanted. And yeah, double disc edition. So you've got the 1998 reconstructed version, and then you also have the theatrical version and the preview version on there as well. So yeah, not seen the other two, but I have seen the 1998 version, and yeah, just absolutely blew me away, quite frankly. So yeah, highly recommend getting this. It was less than £12, and yeah, well worth getting, especially since it's a double disc version, and you get a nice little booklet in there as well. As a on shoot photo there, and yeah, just basically goes through the film, technical notes, and all that lot. Then we have from Criterion, one of their recent releases, Menace to Society, directed by the Hughes brothers. And yeah, I really enjoyed this film. This kind of started on my path of watching other kind of films from African Americans from the 90s. I ended up watching Dead Presidents, which I was highly impressed by. So I hope that gets a release at some point. But yeah, this is on Blu-ray, and yeah, really nice version of the film. So yeah, and again, like with all Criterion films, you get a massive fold out going through the film, all of that lot. So yeah, really a nice release. It's got a nice cover on it. But yeah, still cracking film, and yeah, again, well worth trying out. Really glad the Criterion release that. Then we have on 4K a bunch of films that I bought recently. One that I hadn't had before, which is Inception. Now, I haven't seen this since it came out in 2010, so I am really looking forward to seeing this again, especially since it's now on 4K. And yeah, fantastic cast. Leonardo DiCaprio, Ken Watanabe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Marion Cotillard, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger, and Michael Caine in, yeah, easily one of Christopher Nolan's best films. And yeah, really do remember enjoying it, but for some reason I just haven't watched it since. Two films from Martin Scorsese that I have had on Blu-ray for a while, but really wanted to get on 4K because I do love them both, and that is Goodfellas and Casino. I actually prefer Casino a bit more to Goodfellas, but still, two fantastic films, and yeah, fantastic cast all around. But yeah, like I said, I do kind of prefer Casino. I think it gets you into its world a lot better, but still a fantastic film, and so it's Goodfellas. And yeah, another one that I have had on Blu-ray for a while and wanted on 4K is Krampus. Now this has a fantastic bit of artwork on there, as you can see. It's on the same as the cover itself. But yeah, as you can see, this is the naughty cut, which is 4 minutes longer than the theatrical cut that came out. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what extras are in there. Apparently it's more violent. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing that. As you can see, it's not rated at all, so who knows how violent it's actually going to get. But the standard film was hardly a bright and breezy kind of affair. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing that. That is a staple of my Christmases nowadays, ever since it came out, when I saw it at Christmas originally. And yeah, finally we have two from the premium collection from HMV. We have Deathtrap, starring Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine. And yeah, this is a really, really good film. It's based on a stage play. So it has a very limited cast, very limited sets, but it's all very well done. And yeah, as per usual with the premium collection, you get art cards and a poster. So these are the art cards. So you just get the artwork on that one. Then you get some from the actual film itself. It's easily the best non-Superman film I've seen from Christopher Reeve. But then again, I've not seen all that many from him at all, really, outside of those two films. So, well, those four films, should I say. But yeah, those Superman 3 and 4 weren't really all that great at all, but the first two were. And yeah, there's a poster, same as the art card at the beginning. So, yeah, really, really good film. Only on Blu-ray. But yeah, really, really solid film. And I know people compared it to Sleuth, which came out about 10 years prior, which also starred Michael Caine. But yeah, still a good film in its own right. And one of the now final film of this update, and the only one I haven't seen outside of Walcott, and I think there was one other in there that I hadn't yet seen. But still, yeah, it is the shop around the corner. Now, this is not the kind of film I'd normally go for. It's kind of a romantic comedy, but since it has James Stewart in it, and I'm a massive fan of James Stewart, I figured I'd go for it. So yeah, this is released in 1940. It's number 149 in the collection. Deathtrap is from 1982 and number 144 in the collection. So these are both relatively new. And again, yeah, still only on Blu-ray, no DVD in this one. But again, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You're always going to watch the Blu-ray more than the DVD, and never know anyone that would watch the DVD over the Blu-ray, for instance. And yeah, art cards again. So we got the artwork there. Then we got the shots from the film itself. And finally, so yeah, really interested to see what this is going to be like, because like I said, I'm not massively into romantic comedies, but since this is more of a classic one, I'm usually more inclined towards the classic kind of films more than the more modern ones. So yeah, nice looking poster there. That is a bit different to the artwork that we've got, and yeah, like all premium collection films, it should be a really good transfer. So yeah, massive amount of films there. I don't think that's the biggest amount that we've had so far, but definitely in terms of quality, it's well up there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Christmas. No idea what I'm going to be getting or what I'll end up buying if I get any money, but you'll eventually see it in the new year, before the new year. Although I know I don't do a video on December the 31st, but you'll also be seeing a video of my top 10 pre-2021 first-time watches, because I've seen so many films from before this year that have really wowed me and exceeded my expectations and all that lot. So yeah, you'll see a video of that. And I might well just quickly tell you about my top 10 favourite films from this year. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.